welcome back to my channel. I want to talk to you today about planning, and the reason for this is because it's something that I've kind of struggled with a little bit, because there are so many exciting new systems and ways to plan, and there are lots of advice on how to plan well, and I like trying all of the new different ways, and I have found that none of them have actually worked for me. But I feel I've kind of got to a point now with my planning system that I dare say I'm quite good at it. Like, I think I'm kind of getting there with it, and I kind of wanted to share my ideas with you just in case it helps anyone out there, because my problem with a bullet journal system specifically, because this is the one that I stuck with for the longest before I ended up like changing things about. My problem is that, well, two things. First of all, I don't like being nagged. I really don't like it. I don't like feel like I'm being picked at, and I feel a bullet journal is essentially a nagging book. I was, trying to track things, and I was, making sure I worked out regularly, and I would write all these things down, and then I would forget to fill it in, and then I would look at my book, and then there'd be all these days that I hadn't done the thing that I wanted to do, and I feel that the bullet journal added extra stress to my life, and as it was something that was there to improve my life, I didn't see the point in really having it. And the second way that the bullet journal didn't work for me is just that I spent far too long faffing about with pretty colours, with washi tape, and drawing incredibly straight lines, doing fancy fonts, and it was just not a very efficient system for me. I spent far too long just making it look pretty, it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed myself, but in terms of the actual purpose of a bullet journal, which is to be productive and to get things done, it didn't work for me at all. It was a distraction. So I used to have loads of notebooks, and every single time I went to the shops, I'd buy a new notebook, and it almost became like a laughable issue because of the sheer amount of notebooks that I own, because in my mind, notebooks were synonymous with productivity, and I wanted to be productive, therefore, buy some more notebooks. Honestly, it was a comical issue by the end. But now I have two. So the first thing that I use is this planner from Muji, 2018 one. And what I really like about it is that it's already laid out properly for you. So you have the days of the week, and you've got boxes to write things in, but then you also have a nice bit of grid paper where you can write your own stuff in. So it's kind of a combination of bullet journaling and normal day planning. The other thing I use is just this grey sketchbook, and this is kind of like my creative space, if you will. There's like lyrics in here, video ideas, just jotting things down. It's basically just a space where I just put all of my ideas down, and then I will go through them and I'll put them in my third application, which I will tell you about. But the whole point of this sketchbook is just that it is a mess. Like, the whole thing is just scribbles and ideas, and I find that if I sit down to try and be creative, I can't do it neatly. It doesn't work. It needs to be kind of quick, and because an idea will come and then you just need to get it down as quickly as you can. And I find that having a really messy scrapbook is a good way to do that. So I'm going to start by talking you through the Muji book and how I plan my weeks. Okay, so this is what my February looks like, and the highlighted days here are my week off work. Also, just to note, the 17th here is my birthday, so this is very exciting. So a lot of these days, I don't actually know what I'm doing, but I've been told to keep them free because Charles has got something exciting planned. So on the monthly layout, I only write down things that are just one-offs. At the beginning of these planners, you do get like a full layout of 2017 to 2019, which can be quite useful. And then at the very front of the book, I have a kind of dream board type setup here, just a few things just to remind me exactly, what I'm trying to work towards, what my goals actually are. This is the week just gone, and down the left-hand side, I just have kind of appointments, places that I need to be, when I need to be at work, and when I'm teaching, all this kind of thing. And then here I just have a to-do list. And what I do is I put a dot if it's something that is still to be done. I cross it out if it's something that has been done, and if it's something that I've had to move on to the next week, then I turn it into a little arrow. Something else I find very useful is just drawing a little graph of the times when I'm actually busy. So running along the bottom here, the days of the week, and on the y-axis here are 7 AM till 7 PM. And all I do is just draw bars when I'm actually busy. And I find my concept of time is really weird, and I tend to get a little bit anxious and feel like I don't have enough time. But having a sort of a picture of exactly what my free time looks like makes it a little bit easier for me to try and make the most of my time. And then there'll also be things that I do try and keep track of. So as you know, I am trying to post to my blog every single day, so that's why I've got this little tracker here. But when it comes to sort of fitness or eating healthily or sleeping well, all these kind of things, I'd rather just have it happen naturally than you know, have an extra responsibility and have to, you know, keep track of everything. I find that a little bit naggy. So I highly recommend this book. I find it just a really good combination of all of the planning systems that I've used so far. And then this is a sketchbook that I use. This actually started off life as a bullet journal, but I kind of like the aesthetic of the plain A4 sheet. So I sort of filled in all of the months and tried to keep everything really neat. And, you know, I was planning videos in here, but like I love the aesthetic of it. But the problem is that, you know, it just took up so much of my time. But now I've just got a lot messier and a lot more scribbly. And I find that it's a lot more of a creative space when I do it that way. So this is Trello, and this is how I kind of keep track of all my projects. So I've got the album that I'm writing, the ACE level that I'm teaching, my blog, which is my day-to-day business, platform integration, and YouTube. And these are all the backgrounds for each of the projects, and I chose them just because they're kind of things that I maybe found the most inspiring or the most appropriate for those ones. So we'll have a look at this one first, I reckon. So this is sort of my proposed idea for the album title and all of the songs. Most of them have got the lyrics written. I still need to update this, but there's a checklist at the bottom, and you can see that I'm kind of 29% done, but obviously some of these take longer than others, so it's not really a case of that. But the music and the lyrics are done. I've got draft vocals done, but we're sort of in production phase now, so we're just working on that. But it means that you can kind of keep track of things. And another really good thing you can do is you can edit the labels and change them to different colors. So what I tend to do, in fact, I will show you in the YouTube one here. So this is the main column here. My idea is to flesh out, and if it is red here, that means it's basically not done at all. It's just a concept, and once I've fleshed it out a little bit, it goes to orange, and once it's sort of ready to be filmed, it turns to green. And then once they're uploaded, they go over here, or I just delete them completely. And two really good things about the software as well is that you can have other people contributing to the board or just keeping track of what it is that you're doing. And the other good thing is that you can get this app on your phone, so you can make ideas as you go and it'll show up on your boards. I find it just a really good way of keeping everything together and also keeping everything very aesthetically pleasing without it being, you know, bothersome, I guess. This was actually recommended in a Lavender video, which is how I started using it, but I highly recommend it. So I hope that was in some way useful. Please let me know if you've ever struggled with planning and using bullet journals in the past. It seems to me that everybody on the internet is using bullet journals and is very good at using bullet journals, so I do feel a little bit alone in my dislike of them. Not that I dislike them, they just don't suit me, I think. So yeah, it'd be good to know if there's anyone else out there in a similar boat. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and please feel free to follow me on my Instagram and also to check out my blog. And I hope you're having a lovely day. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.